Hi there. On my time traveler line, are you a time traveler?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just like that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You're definitely a time traveler?
Without a doubt, Art, I am a time traveler.
All right. From what year do you originate?
Well, I'll tell you how I did it, Art. I went backwards in time from the year 2010. I went back to 1915. This is just one time.
That was 19 what? 50?
No, 1915.
1915. All right.
No, yeah, exactly. I went to the Indianapolis 500 on Salvia Divinorum, and I stuck my head in through the bleachers, and I was there.
Really?
Right at the last lap, the checkered flag is coming down. People are going crazy in the stands, waving their flags, and turn to the left, and I can see these old cars coming. I'm like, wow, man, this is too much. I'm not even really a race fan. I'm thinking, This is fantastic. And I wanted to tap somebody on the shoulder and say, here's my phone number. Call me in 10 minutes. I'll be back.
Okay.
I've also gone back to the 1950s on Salvia Divinorum, and it's pretty common.
All right. I want to ask you a couple of questions, please. One is, by what method, if you can tell us, do you travel in time?
By smoking Salvia Divinorum.
What the heck is that?
Salvia is a hallucinogenic herb from Oaxaca, Mexico. It's safe and it's legal, and it's 10 times stronger than LSD.
All right, so how do you know you're actually traveling in time versus so high you can't even move?
I think the reality factor and the fact that it only lasts for 5 minutes and you're back and able to recall it completely.
Yeah, there is that.
There is that. Let's see.
Have you ever gone into the future?
No, because the future hasn't happened yet. I don't believe people can travel into the future.
Some claim they can.
My experience has always been backwards.
Fascinating.
And I just believe that the key to time travel is going to be drugs, and it's not a machine. It's going to be a substance. Terence McKenna said that, and I agree with him. And he says Salvia Divinorum is the key.
All right, I appreciate. Yep. I very much appreciate your call. Thank you. And Terence very well may have said that. And I'm not ruling it out. I'm really not ruling it out. I'm not a proponent of drugs at all, but you can't rule it out. It may well be that time travel could turn out ultimately to be a function of the brain. A lot of movies are based on that. One of my favorite movies of all time, Somewhere in Time, was actually based on that. If you've never seen that movie, make it a point to do it, Somewhere in Time. Okay, where to go? Let's go to Michael on Skype. Michael, hello.
Yeah, good morning, Art. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Where are you?
I am in Virginia.
Virginia.
Yep.
Beautiful part of the country.
It is. It really is, yeah. So I have a couple +1 questions for you.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Sure.
So I called into Richard Hoagland's program, Other Side of Midnight, last week.
Yes.
And I asked him if he had considered doing a 3-hour show instead of the 2 hours.
Actually, he has.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he was interested, but he wasn't sure if the network would go along with that. So my question to you is, have you given any consideration to Richard's show going 3 hours?
I have. He said to me, Art, I don't know if 2 hours is enough, to get deeply into the subject he wants to get into. And I said, look, Richard, why don't you do this? Why don't you try 2 for a while and see how you do? And if you want to go to 3, probably the space can be made.
Ah, okay. So there is an option for that. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, sure there is.
I've really been enjoying that show. It's got kind of an audio verite flavor to it.
It does. Fun. It does. It's like, what's coming next?
You never know. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so my second question is, I know that you haven't been actively pursuing it, but are you aware of any other terrestrial radio stations across the country that have expressed interest in picking up your show as an affiliate?
Yes. We have.
Ooh, exciting.
And, well, you know what? We're not. You're absolutely right. We're not aggressively pursuing it. We haven't called any of these stations that have joined us. They all came to us, and I'm still not sure. I mean, I guess it's cool, but, this is such an experiment we're doing. Then I don't know what direction we're going to go. Ultimately, maybe we'll, the commercials will go and we'll be listener supported. I don't know.
Sure.
Everything's open.
I think that having terrestrial stations gives you a larger audience, certainly, right?
You know what? That's changing. And certainly now that is true. Yes.
Yes.
And I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not going to turn them down. I can't think of any reason to turn them down, and
why would you, right? Yeah, sure.
And we'll give them the ratings, guaranteed. There's this.
Okay, so
let me go on. There's this interesting experiment going on up in Portland. We're on a big one there, KXL, big, right? And when the ratings come out, there's going to be a shock that goes across the American radio community. And I'll leave it at that.
Oh, exciting. I certainly hope that you're getting good ratings up there. Anyway, my final question is one that sort of just came up in the past hour.
Sure.
Apparently, the host of the other Unlistenable show has promoted this evening that how their streaming service hasn't had a price increase and whatnot. But this coming from the guy who claims to never play dirty pool, right?
The guy
He's
cannot.
Always above board, right, Art?
He just can't help reacting, can he?
No, he can't. He's scared, and why wouldn't he be? You're Art Bell, and he's not, right?
Yeah, well, I hear that he's crowdfunded his way to the star system Turmeric, where he'll probably attempt a landing on the planet
at 11:11, I'm sure.
Riduli.
Anyway, you wouldn't suspect that tonight's scheduled guest was, I don't know, advised by the other show to abandon his appearance?
Oh, who knows? Who knows? I doubt that. I doubt it.
I don't.
Anyway, it doesn't matter to me. I'm cool.
Radio.
I'm cool. I'd rather do open lines anyway.
Fair enough, Art. We're very, very happy to have you back, and hope you have a good day. Roswell's to you.
Take care, bud. Yeah, I'm easy. I really am easy. I mean, I can go any way at all. If I have a guest that doesn't show up, well, that's life. Life goes on and all that stuff. So we'll just do whatever's fun. That's the cool thing about, I suppose, two things. One being my age, and two, doing something you love. It's not like all stops, when somebody doesn't show up. It's okay. What's next? Julie, hello, Julie, from somewhere.
Hey, Art. Thanks for taking my call. We're so glad you're back on the air.
Thank you for making it. Where are you, Julie?
I'm in Fircrest, Washington.
Okay.
So my husband listens a little bit more religiously than I do, and he mentioned that you were looking for the Washington State Patrol trooper that feeds Bigfoot.
That's right.
So I don't know that guy, but I did go to my trooper friend's house last night, and we mentioned the story to him. And he had a kind of funny story to tell us that there was a candidate to be a trooper, and they have to take a polygraph examination before they can become troopers.
Okay.
And they asked him, they said, they ask a series of questions that they've already asked them, and he answered in the affirmative when they said, have you ever been the subject of a police investigation? And he was kind of sheepish and looked down a little bit, and he said, yeah. And they said, well, you haven't disclosed this before, so what's the deal? And he said, well, I used to dress up in a Bigfoot costume and run across the highway. And the police ended up investigating it. He never got caught, and he's a trooper to this day. I don't know his name. My friend didn't disclose that, but it was pretty funny. I thought.
All right. Well, the story about the trooper in Washington seeing Bigfoot is real. So if you can get me a name, I'm Art Bell at artbell.com.
Well, I'll try, but I don't know that anyone's going to disclose that. But
Well, he can talk to me anonymously. Really, I'll figure out a way. We'll change his voice. I don't care. I just want to interview the guy. He's 20 feet from Bigfoot. He feeds Bigfoot. I want to talk to him.
all right, well, I'll let him know and see if they want to talk to you.
Please, thank you. Tell him, email me, and I will, I'll figure out a way. I guarantee I'll figure out a way. Okay, here we go. Time Traveler Line. You are on the air.
Good evening, Mr. Bell.
Good evening. Are you really a time traveler?
I have traveled one time to visit my son.
One time to travel, traveling to visit your son.
Well, my son arranged the transportation.
I see. Okay. And your son was when?
2060.
2060. Okay. I guess your son could be that age. And you actually, how did you do it? That's the first question.
Well, as I say, he arranged it. And the reason that I'm calling before I answer your question is because he's very interested in revealing some facts about the future that might cause a spin-off in the space-time continuum and provide other possibilities for alternative futures.
Okay. Having said that, how did you travel? Was it a machine? Is it something you did with drugs like our caller a little while ago? What?
Well, I, without being too specific, I was told to go to a specific location. I met some people there. They were very polite and friendly, and they placed me in this device, kind of a bell-shaped unit. And to look at it, it looked really ancient. I mean, it didn't look like something that, was from the future.
Right.
And within moments, I was with my son, where he lives on Mars, actually.
Your son lives on Mars?
Yes.
Okay, see, that's harder to believe than traveling in time.
Well,
how does he live on Mars? By then, have we established a colony?
Well, he lives in a colony of 200,000.
So we have a big colony. And all this by the year 2060?
Yes.
Man, we can't even get the spaceship. We can't even. All right, thank you. I'm not buying that. And the reason is that, we can't even get up to the International Space Station anymore. So a colony of hundreds of thousands on Mars by 2060, I don't see it. I just don't see it. But then again, technology's pretty wild. No question about that. All right, let's go to somebody whose name... No, we'll hold that. We'll go to the phone. We should be going back to the phone. Laguna Beach, I think you're on the air.
Hi, I can't believe it. Oh, my gosh. Hello, Art.
Hello. Thank you.
Oh, my God. This is Sylvia from Laguna Beach. Roswell's to you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy you're back.
Well, I'm so happy you're so happy at this time of night.
Okay, I have so many stories I want to tell you. I don't know which one to tell. I'm just going to...
Well, here's the thing. Take the most shocking, interesting one and tell me that one.
Okay, then. I will tell you about my father's visitation to me 2 months after he died. This is what happened. Just a little bit of backstory. I'll be as quickly as possible so I can get to the point. I was dating a man for a couple of years, and he wasn't an American citizen. He was from Asia.
Right.
And he had decided to go back to his country to visit his mother.
Right.
And I said, that's fine, no problem. Go see her. She misses you. So he leaves and never comes back.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, okay, that's weird. What's going on? A year later, I find him on Facebook. And it turns out that he was already a married man with kids. And that everything about him was a lie. And I felt so deceived by this. And not only was I felt deceived for what he did to me, but I thought about my parents and how he had deceived them as well. And I wanted to tell my parents at the time, but unfortunately, my father was dying from brain cancer, and I figured he can't be burdened by this.
Right.
So I never said a word.
Right.
2 months later, on November, my father had passed away. And 2 months later, he came to me in a dream. And in the dream, he was normal, cancer-free, very young, I would say in his 30s.
Oh.
And he was furious. He was so furious. And he's gripping my boyfriend by the shoulder. And he's looking him hard, like, you're not going anywhere. And he's looking straight, my father's looking straight at me in the eye. And he says to me, you have to tell her. And I'm thinking, who? What are you talking about, Daddy? And then he shouts, he goes, Mija. And that means my daughter in Spanish. He goes, Mija, I know everything.
See, now we're talking about a real dad here. Did you hear the poor lady who called about the hex earlier?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that gave me chills. Who would? Well, I couldn't believe that. Oh, my God. Anyway, my father said to me, you have to tell his wife what happened.
Right.
And then I said to my dad, Daddy, I can't. There's no way that I can contact him. And then he says to me, go on Facebook. She just joined.
Mm-hmm.
And I wake up. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm having a heart attack. It was such a vivid dream. And I'm thinking, that was a fluke. That can't be real. But, of course, curiosity got to me, and I decided to go on Facebook.
Right.
So I go on Facebook. I find my boyfriend's Facebook account, and there's an update. It's linked with his wife's Facebook account. And so I click on her name, and I see her Facebook page, and it says at the very bottom, just joined 1 hour ago.
Wow. Wow. All right, listen, I got to go, but what a story. Thank you. Let's go to Cam. Hi, Cam. How are you?
Good. I like that last comment there.
Yeah, well.
Hey, what a great show. Who needs a guest when you got all these callers?
Well, there is that.
I just put Skype on my phone tonight, and this is the first time I'm trying it.
So you see how well it... Oh, an echo? Really?
Let's see. Let me turn down the volume.
Actually, you sound cool to me.
Okay.
Oh, what are you on, actually? A computer or a phone?
iPhone 6 Plus.
iPhone 6. Oh, a Plus, huh? I always wondered about those. It's like holding a, I don't know, big thing to your ear.
Yeah, but I kind of liked it for the bigger screen, and then later I got glasses, so maybe I didn't need that. But
well, let me tell you, your audio here is like you're sitting next to me. That's how good it is.
Oh, well, great. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
With when I hear you over my mixer, I just turned it down. You sound like you're sitting in my room with me, too. So
there you have it.
Like that. Hey, I wanted to share a shadow cat story. But first, I wanted to express my concern over anybody that dresses up as Bigfoot and walks across the highway at night.
Boy, no joke.
There's been talk about the first person that can shoot one and capture it should be not illegal or something. So it's really dangerous to dress up as Bigfoot in the Northwest and walk across the highway.
It sure is. And I wonder how it would resolve if you shot what appeared to be a Bigfoot and it turned out to be some idiot in a costume. I wonder legally how that would come down. I guess the guy could say, look, this monster was coming at me and I was scared for my life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think technically shooting the first Bigfoot may not be illegal, but so...
Well, if it's a real Bigfoot, yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, if he's tall and you really thought he was Bigfoot, I don't know. So...
Yeah, it's a good point, and I really appreciate it. Anything else?
Well, my shadow cat story.
Yes.
I bought my house some years ago, and it's an older house, and I had my friend with me, and we were taking out a temporary wall, and we pulled back the ugly paneling, and we both saw this, what we thought was a cat, jump out from behind the paneling in the wall and run out the front. But when we both acknowledged it to each other, we realized... First of all, it had no solid form. It was black, it was kind of fuzzy, and it dissipated once it got out of the room.
Ooh, that's weird.
turn into nothing. So, but we both saw it at the same time.
Well, see, there you are. You both saw it. Now we've got a sighting by 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, very impressive. Thank you very much. And I submit to you that really counts. When 2 people see it, my word for it, you don't have to take my word for it, even though I guarantee you what I told you was the absolute truth. But if 2 people see it or more, that has some pretty serious meaning in my mind. Kimberly, with a bunch of zeros, I can't read the number, but Kimberly, you're on the air. Hi. Hello, Kimberly. Oh, I guess she bailed. She was probably somewhere outside the country. No idea where. But Kimberly, you would have been on the air. All right. Not a lot of time, so let's go to Larry. You are on the air. Hello.
Me?
You.
Holy crow.
Yeah, extinguish your device.
There we go.
There you go.
Hey, I talked to you. My God, it had to be, I don't know, way back when you first started. And I wanted to talk to you, and you put me on, I'm getting nervous.
Probably back when you were young, huh?
Well, yeah, we were both a lot younger.
All right.
But I got put on hold, and then we lost contact. I never got a chance to get back to you. I'm so glad you're back on the air.
Well, here you are.
Anyway, I was always wondering if you and I had met in Namanui boat docks way back when, because I was on that,
He's talking about Okinawa.
I'm sorry?
I said you're talking about Okinawa. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where the GIs weren't allowed to go there, but I did. We did. Me and my buddies. But,
well, it was pretty cool. I was at first military there, of course, but I turned around and went back to Okinawa as a civilian. And
right.
I lived in Naha, so I was all over the place there. You can bet on it.
Right. I was stationed at Naha.
Well, there you are.
And this would have been like 1967.
Sounds about right.
Oh, my God. We got to talking about tasers and lasers and all this stuff. And
sounds like me.
Way back when, and I always wondered if it was you that, years later I hear you on the air, and, geez, I wonder if that was that fella.
Yeah, sounds like me, all right.
Oh, my.
All right, my friend. Listen, I'm short on time. I got to go. I've got to look for somebody overseas very quickly. Hello?
Hello?
Ito, hi.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, is this me?
It's you. Ito, where are you? Yes, where are you calling from?
Ireland.
Ireland. Excellent.
Yeah. Is that Art Bell?
Yes, this is Art Bell. But
Art Bell, I'm delighted to speak to you and honored. Hello.
I'm honored to speak with you. However, listen to me. We're coming up on a break, and I have to take these breaks. I have absolutely no choice. So,
I understand.
Can you hold on through the break?
I think so. Yeah. No problem.
All right. It's free. So hang loose. We'll get back to you in Ireland.
For Dark Matter News, I'm Leo Ashcraft. Flying snakes. While that may sound strange, flying snakes actually exist. The mystery of how flying snakes stay aloft may have been solved by scientists, though. These unusual reptiles, which are found in rainforests in Southeast Asia, are able to fling themselves from trees and elegantly glide through the air. Scientists say that the serpents radically alter their body shape to generate the aerodynamic forces needed to perform this feat. Professor Jake Sosha from Virginia Tech, who carried out the study, said the snake is definitely not an intuitive glider. When you look at it, you'd say that thing should not be able to glide. And in its normal body configuration, that's probably true. But when it enters the air, when it takes off and jumps and leaps from a branch, it massively transforms its body. As it jumps, it flattens out from just behind the head to where the tail starts. What it is doing is taking its ribs and rotating them forwards towards the head and upwards towards the spine. The snake's body changes from having a very round cross-section to one that is more squashed and concave at the bottom. He said the snake was producing an aerodynamic force that was comparable to that created by a scaled-down plane wing. As it's doing this, it's moving its head from side to side. It is passing waves down the body, and it looks like the animal is swimming in the air. The team says the snake could help to inspire robotic development, potentially leading to machines that can crawl, climb, and glide. This is Dark Matter News. A new jaw-dropping up-close video displays the eruption of the Piton de la Fournaise volcano, located on Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean near Madagascar. New footage of the eruption, which prompted evacuation on Friday, shows the fiery rivers of lava running down the slopes. The eruption lasted for 3 days before ending on Sunday, shortly after 11 a.m. local time. This is a World Heritage Site and is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. The volcanic activity hampered the work of Malaysian investigators examining suspected debris of the MH370 flight found by beachcombers on Reunion Island on Wednesday. Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 went missing on March 8, 2014, with 239 people on board, shortly after taking off from the Malaysian capital of Kuala Lumpur en route to Beijing. Its disappearance prompted a massive international search lasting more than a year in the South Indian Ocean, the China Sea, and the Gulf of Thailand. CNN has reported that worms can invade your brain if you eat this common food. Once you consume them, they can move throughout your body, your eyes, your tissues, and most commonly, your brain. They leave doctors puzzled in their wake as they migrate and settle to feed on the body they're invading. A classic parasite, but this one can get into your head. A British man was found to have a tapeworm moving inside his brain in 2013. This form of tapeworm had never been seen before in the United Kingdom. The patient had recently visited China, which, along with South Korea, Japan, and Thailand, has more regular occurrences of the parasite known as spirometra. 4 years earlier, the man had first experienced symptoms such as headaches, which the team of doctors had treated as tuberculosis, but then it returned. This time he had new symptoms. The worm was now pushing on a new part of his brain, causing seizures and weakness in his legs. The condition associated with this infection was, in fact, sparganosis. There is no known drug to effectively treat the infection, meaning that upon diagnosis, doctors had to be quick to remove the worm surgically. The adult form of the spirometra tapeworm only occurs in the intestines of cats and dogs, but as these animals shed the worm's eggs in their feces, the eggs can enter and contaminate water. The resulting juvenile form of tapeworm, known as larvae, can then stay in water within certain small crustaceans or end up in frogs and snakes. As larvae, they can invade humans through ingestion or direct contact with infected animals. I'm Leo Ashcraft for Dark Matter News.
Some of you feel I gave the guy with the sun on Mars short shrift. Maybe. He can call back. How about that? We'll bend the rule for that. Maybe I should have listened a little more. It just, I don't know, it caught me as unlikely, but one never knows. This is Midnight in the Desert, and one with this really never knows. Back now to, help me pronounce your name. Is it Ido or Ido? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
I'm here. My name is Colin. I'm from Ireland.
Carlin, your Skype says IDO.
Oh, I do not know. Yes, sorry. Yeah, that's a silly name. I do not know because
it doesn't really say that though. It says IDO space NOTKNOW. I get it now. I do not know.
You get it now.
Yeah.
I do not know, basically. Right. How are you, man? Great show.
Thank you.
I missed most of it today, but usually I get your show from somewhere on TuneIn, you know.
Well, now we have these archives.
I love it from before.
We have archives, and you can go back and listen to old shows. Pretty cool.
Cool. I'd love to hear this again because I really didn't think I'd get through.
Okay, if you go to artbell.com, that's my name, ARTBELL.com. You can sign up there, and right now it's $5, and then you get grandfathered in at $5. It's really cool.
Cool. That sounds good to me because I want to support your show. It's awesome that you're back.
Thank you.
Am I on air like right now?
Oh, like right now, yes.
Oh, I nearly cursed actually. Sorry.
You see, we don't.
You probably don't have much time with me, so no. Just thank you very much for taking my call. It's awesome. I'm glad to get through. I'd like to suggest a few things if that's cool. No.
Go ahead.
Have you ever heard of this mythical island off the coast of Ireland that was on maps up until 1872?
What's the name of it?
I thought High Brazil, it's called.
High Brazil, no. Wait a minute, maybe I have.
You may be able to find an expert on that, you know.
What's the deal?
Basically, it was a tiny little. It's a mythical island, Irish myth sort of thing,
Sure.
and it vanished in the fog. That sort of it. It was only seen once every year or so.
Yes.
And I just thought it was a pretty cool subject. You might be able to get somebody on it.
I'd love to. You're in a better place to, get that person for me than I am.
It sounds cool. Yeah. I can't really get much information on it, but I'll send you links if I find something.
Would you please?
Yeah, of course. And we have on Dover as well as a lake creature as well I'm interested in. I'd like to hear somebody who knows stuff about that sort of thing.
Oh, we've heard about your creatures.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear more about that.
Plenty of those.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much for the call, all the way from Ireland.
Thank you for taking my call.
You're very welcome. Let me very quickly go to my time traveler line. Hello.
Hello.
Are you you're the guy, aren't you?
I'm the guy. Yeah.
With the sun on Mars. I did. I cut you off too soon. What else can you tell us? I mean, 200,000 people.
Well,
that's a lot.
I can tell you that I live in the present. I mean, I was born in 1956, so I am from now. But the drive that enabled or will enable them to colonize really the whole solar system has already been developed.
You know what? After you called and I got those messages, I thought about that and I thought, oh my God, what if we develop a drive that will move mass people? Some sort of gravity drive, I would imagine, or what?
No, it's electromagnetic drive. It's a sealed engine that NASA has already approved, or has already tested and verified.
Really?
And and that's in a hard vacuum. And they're getting minimal thrust, but once they start to use a superconducting reaction chamber, which, by the way, is sealed, there's no exhaust tube.
Right.
They'll be able to increase the Q up into the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands and be able to get, 1 million pounds of thrust out of, using electricity to power it.
That's
and that's, that's in 5 years.
All right. Let me ask this. What is it that motivated that many people to go to Mars?
Well, what always motivates them? Gold.
Gold?
That's one of the primary gold mining colonies on Mars, and plus there are quite a few of them on the asteroids, and there's extensive things going on the moon.
Well, that certainly, through the ages, has motivated many people to go on many gold rushes. So I get that.
The reason that I called you is because my son wants to arrange a live communication from 2060 to you from Mars.
Oh, good Lord, yes. Good Lord, yes.
And
here is what I would suggest.
It will take some preparation, and it will take some time to arrange this.
Okay.
But there is a very good reason that he feels very strongly that this needs to occur.
I'm with him.
And he's potentially could get into some trouble. In fact, well,
I don't want that.
But it's for the good.
All right. Let's do this. Let us set up something by email. I'm Art Bell at artbell.com, and we can set up whatever you want.
Okay. I will talk to the people that will actually do the technological part.
Yes.
And then I will get back to you. I don't know how I will verify that I am who I am, but you can refer to me as Frank. I don't know if that'll help.
Done deal, Frank. This has been a good call. So get in touch with me. We'll arrange exactly what you just said.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, Frank, and take care. See, this is why you do open lines. This is exactly why you do open lines. You never, ever know what you're going to run into. You just don't know. Ithaca, New York. Hello.
Hello, Art. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
I am very grateful to you, not only for all the time you've been on the air, but some special peak moments of it. And one of those is when you talked about crop formation that has come down now to be known as the Arecibo reply.
I remember the Arecibo reply well.
Yes, well, I was so inspired by that to do a science project. And I actually had called Lisa at the time because I wanted to be on Coast, not about that, but about some research I'd done with genetics, about the genetics of altruism.
Yes.
But I told her that I could have a field day analyzing those agroglyphs in the computer.
How do you analyze them? I mean, what kind of, what do you put them through to analyze them? I'm curious.
Well, okay, if you have two rectangles on the ground on very flat land?
Yes.
And if you remember, the alien face and the Arecibo reply were rectangles, but they were not parallel to each other. No side of one rectangle was parallel to any side of the other.
Yes.
And when you have that, there's enough information in a perspective picture of the scene to reconstruct a perfect map of the scene as it would look looking straight down on it. And if the pictures were a hoax, that map would reveal the radar dish as an oval instead of a circle, and the parking lot, a third non-parallel rectangle in the scene.
That actually makes sense. In other words, we rarely, almost never, see a directly looking down photograph, do we?
Yes, but the thing is, if you reconstruct the straight looking down photograph,
yeah, I get it.
If it were a hoax, the radar dish would come out oval on the map, and
I
the parking lot would come out not as a rectangle.
Right.
Now, I told Nancy Talbot, a crop circle expert, about this research project I did, and she got very angry. She said, my great friends in England were there. They walked around in it. How could you dare to do research to demonstrate that it might not have really existed and might have just been a fancy drawing? And I said, but science doesn't work that way. And the thing she didn't give me time to say was that there are certain autistic savants who, when they look at such a photograph, can generate the map in their head and just draw it.
Totally got it.
All I really did was write a computer program to emulate an autistic savant and create the map from the photograph.
Listen, I would love to see the results of some of what you've done. Could you get them to me?
Well, I sent you an email at artbell@artbell.com with the 4 versions of the manuscript I wrote for After Dark. Unfortunately, Lisa lost interest in it. At first she said, I won't have you on about it.
No. What I'm asking for is actual renderings of what you came up with, if viewed.
There are schematic drawings. I'm blind and I can't do much good artwork, but I have what's a computer-generated pictures of the maps. And what's interesting is at first the maps came out as if it had been hoaxes. But I found out what happened is the photos weren't hoaxes at all. The scene was very real. Mm-hmm. What happened was people had doctored some of the pictures to make the details in the formation show up in perspective. And they took the pictures off of the picture, as it were, turned them into rectangles, put in the details, and then tried to put them back in perspective again. And they didn't put them back exactly where they had taken them from, and that ruined those pictures. But
of course, yes.
One picture where they didn't do any doctoring at all, the radar.
Okay, well, can you get me one example even?
Well, it's in the email I sent you. If you can give me a subject header you want me to use so you can find it, I'll send it again.
Crop formation phone call.
Okay.
All right.
I would love to be on Midnight in the Desert to be interviewed about this project. I put a lot of time and energy into it.
I can understand, and that might happen. Thank you very, very much for the call. And what he is saying makes so much sense. It's almost like Contact. Remember Contact when they were trying to figure out how it all fit together, and it turned out to be a 3-dimensional thing, and you had to put it together. And until you put it together, it made no sense at all. Make sense? Okay, so many things ringing here. Let's try for Dale on Skype. Hello. Dale? Are you there?
Hey.
Hey, Dale.
How you doing, Art?
Very well.
Wow, this is awesome. The first time I remember talking to you, I had been listening to you for a couple of years, and it was in 1994, and the story of the Trumbull UFO, Trumbull, Ohio UFO came on, and that captivated me. It was like 2 or 3 hours of this amazing story. But I wanted to talk about you. You were talking about shadow creatures earlier, and it got me to thinking. I'm an electrical engineer. And I'm wondering what substance they're made out of, or do they only manifest as something in the electromagnetic spectrum? And then I'm wondering, how could we interact with them?
I want all the same answers, buddy. I want all the same answers. I can tell you that I could see about halfway through it. In other words, stuff in the background behind it was about half as visible as it should have been with the amount of light in the room. Follow me?
Yeah, like a 50% gray filter, right?
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Correct.
so I wonder, like people who see these, maybe they might want to keep a flash unit with them and see if you could get their attention, light them up with a flash unit, see what kind of reaction they'd get. I'm wondering about microwave, sound bursts, laser, or a taser. I mean, if we want to be unfriendly, we have a lot of options we could explore.
I don't really want to be unfriendly, but I also don't want to be a victim.
Right, exactly. If they're pests, it seems like we have a better mousetrap we could try. But if we want to be friendly with them, what kind of things might they want? Music, pretty pictures,
or whatever it is. I'd be glad to hand it over.
That was my thought.
All right, thank you very much. As I said, whatever it is, I'd be more than happy to hand it over to not have to see them again. Thank you. Let's see. Kirkfield, Ontario, is that correct?
That's correct, Art.
Hey.
Terry, I'm listening on CFRB 1010.
Yes, sir.
And or I don't actually need it, but they also do shortwave, CFRX 6.070 megahertz.
I was hearing that. People have been telling me that they actually have their own shortwave station, and we're carrying on that?
I haven't had a need to seek it out.
Okay.
My understanding is that it would be a simulcast, yeah.
Wow. That's pretty exciting. We're all over shortwave. It's so appropriate. I love radio.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful, and amateur radio is a great hobby, too. I wish I could afford it. I wanted to ask a question.
You can afford ham radio. Find somebody with a secondhand rig for sale. There's tons of them out there. You'll find something, get on the air. Do it. Get your license.
It'd be great.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. I'm hearing very familiar theme music. I'm hearing a very familiar voiceover guy. And down the street, they're carrying a Best of Art Bell show on Saturday nights. I am very confused about who's on speaking terms with whom.
Yeah, I'm confused too. So join the club.
Okay. I didn't realize. Okay, so it's pretty complicated, in other words.
Complicated beyond even my understanding, yes.
Okay. That's really all I wanted to ask.
Well, I wish I had an answer for you, my friend. I really wish I had an answer. Thank you very much for the call, and take care. You know, if they want to continue to play those and, in effect, advertise the fact that Art Bell is still here, all you got to do is, well, twist the dial, fire up the phone, fire up the iPad, fire up the computer. We're everywhere. Oh, my. Let's try. I think we've got somebody on Skype. Hello? No, I think that was a hanger-on. Let's try here. Skype. Ken? Hello, Ken.
Hi.
Hi, Ken. Turn your device down, please.
Okay, I'm getting to it.
Okay. We're waiting. Down. Volume down.
Yeah, I'm there now.
Okay, good. You're on the air.
Oh, great. It's so good to talk to you, Art. It's been quite a while since I talked to you, but how would you like to take a ride about 55 years back?
I would love that.
I was 10 years old, And, of course, as any little kid at night, I always stared at the closet door. And one night...
Very quickly, because the darn show is ending.
I saw something at the head of my bed that was about 3.5 feet tall.
Right.
And it looked something like this picture. It's in the center of the Aztec calendar with big ears, and it freaked me out. So I hid under the covers. And that was the last time I saw it. But ever since then, about a year after that, I experienced night dream flights.
Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. I've got to go. Listen, everybody, thank you. This show flew by. I can't believe it's over. Richard C. Hoagland's coming up on the Dark Matter Digital Network. From the high desert, good night, world.